Record. All right. Welcome to tonight's team call. There, I hear you. Did you get
Now I hear you.
work?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we were just saying hey, and I was telling Michelle that you dropped off Eggies to me earlier today, and I couldn't even hug you to say hi. It was just like at the end of the driveway. Hi.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. All right, sweetie. I am actually going to put you on mute, and then I'll go through our topic. There is, it looks like, are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you just tap your screen at the bottom, a little chat, it'll say chat will pop up. If you have any questions or if you think of something while I'm talking, you can type it in the chat, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to mute you for now so I don't get squirreled. And we'll go through our topics. And then if you girls have any questions, I'll answer. Otherwise, I will go ahead and let you go for the evening, okay? So Megan's first call, super excited for her. She has been rocking her own journey and is going to be diving into coaching here starting this week with Meg's new coach mentorship. So that's exciting. Amanda Fulford is going to be in that group with you. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, Riley just came running in. So tonight, what I wanted to kind of talk with you all about is some fears or some hesitations that many of us have as new coaches or existing coaches that maybe hold us back from helping other people, from putting ourselves out there on social media, maybe from inviting. So I'd really love for you in the chat to just share what are some things that maybe go through your mind when you're inviting someone, or maybe when you're making a post on social media, or like what are the fears and hesitations that maybe stop you in your tracks from doing those things, or that could, you know, what are some fears that you might have from kind of diving in and sharing your story and being vulnerable and connecting with other or new people? Go lay down. And then I'm going to kind of go through 4 traps of thought and help you to flip those so that you can see the other side of it, because it's very difficult to see the flip side of things when we're kind of in our own mind, right? Like we'll get on this tangent of maybe what we're feeling a certain thing. So just a few things, like maybe it's the fear of rejection, that they're going to say no. Maybe it's the fear that they're going to think that we're just trying to sell them something. Maybe you don't feel like you can be successful. Like, what are some of the things that go through your mind? Do you feel like you're not worthy of having success? Different things that go through your mind when you're working your business, okay? So if you can, just as you're thinking of some things, put them in the chat and I will check those as we go along. But the first trap of negative thinking is determining your worth by titles. So maybe you haven't reached, okay, so Michelle is saying rejection is her biggest fear, her biggest hesitation, if you will. That's what holds her back. So we will get into that. So the first trap is determining your worth by titles. So maybe you're not emerald, or maybe you're not diamond yet. Like, what is the goal that you're pushing for? And do you feel like you can't be successful because you're not there yet? It's a common trap, and so many people feel that. But what if we thought about, instead of the title or where we want to be, what if we started to flip that and focus on what is the impact that we can make? How many people can we help? Who can we help? And instead of determining our worth on the title, what if we focus on providing value to those around us, to helping somebody have a smile on their face for the day, to sending just a nice message to uplift them in these hard times, right? What if we determined our worth on what we're serving others with what we're providing to those around us? Are we being that light on social media, right? Are we sharing good, positive, uplifting posts that are going to make somebody else's day, that are also going to make our day better, right? Because when don't you feel better like when you make a positive post? Don't you feel better after you do it because that's what you're focusing your energy on, and then that's what you share. And you know that that's probably making someone else smile. So that helps to uplift you rather than to focus on maybe you're not at your goal yet. Okay. So the first trap was determining your worth by titles. And the flip is, what can I do to make an impact in this season I'm in? We all have something of value to give. Whether if you're a brand new coach, you're a seasoned coach, you're an emerald coach, you're a diamond coach, we are all coaches. And we are all here for a mission and a purpose of helping to inspire and uplift others, right? So use that. Your mess, if you haven't heard this before, your mess is your message. Whatever you're facing right now in this season of life is what the people who are following you need to hear. Because the people who are following you and connecting with you are typically 1, 2, 3, 4 steps behind where you are right now. Every single one of you is rocking your own wellness journey. You have been committed to making time for yourself, growing, learning, trying to do better with nutrition. There are so many people who are wishing they could get out of their funk that they're in and be where you are right now. Okay? So remember that you have great value to provide to those around you. Okay? So then trap number 2 is, I can't be successful until I have all the answers. Anybody else an emerald personality or a perfectionist out there, and you feel like you have to have all your ducks in a row before you can take that leap, or you have to know exactly how you should respond to if somebody asks you this, or you have to know the entire product line, or you have to know all the ingredients in Shakeology and what every single one of them does, or you have to know all the prices of everything. That can get super, super overwhelming. And guess what? It's going to paralyze you because you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't do all of those things. How do I do all of those things? Like, how can one person know all of those things? You will learn over time, right? But if we are genuinely showing up to help others, we know from our own journey what works, what missteps we have taken, how we've gotten better with our own journey. That's what people want to know. They don't need to know all the ingredients in Shakeology. You don't need to know every single fitness program that we have, because the people that you are connecting with are most likely going to connect with the workouts that you're doing. Okay? So because you're already doing them, you know what they're like. Okay? So start where you are and take a step forward each day. You're going to learn along the way. An example that she gives, this was from Melanie Mitro at Summit last year. And the flip is, everything is figure outable. And if you haven't read that book or listened to it, I highly recommend it. It's Marie Forleo, and it's Forleo. Marie Forleo. Everything is figure outable. It is a great, great book. If you listen to the audio version, like I recently did, she does get passionate in her speaking a little bit. So if you're cautious about your little ones and earmuffs, then I wouldn't listen to it with kids in the room. She's not like bad, but she does get passionate in what she's talking about, and she's basically telling you to get out of your own head. So, but it is a really good book, and it's true. Everything is figure outable. And the example that Melanie gave at Summit was, children don't come with a manual. Like, as moms, we just figure it out, right? You might beat your head against the wall in a couple situations, and you might have to like stumble through, but you figure it out, right? Nobody's telling you what to do. You figure it out by trial and error, trying new things, being willing to be flexible and grow. Coaching is the exact same way. Not every personality that you work with is going to be exactly the same. Not every team member is going to have the same way of working or the same mindset as you, and that's okay. That's what makes this community and this opportunity unique and amazing, is that we have so many different walks of life coming together to serve a similar mission or to serve the same purpose, right? So just keep in mind that the people who are coming to you and who are inspired by you, they don't need you to know everything. They need you to be a friend. They need you to listen, and they need you to be honest. And if you can do those things and you can be genuine, which every single one of you on this call are all of those things, because I know you personally, you are going to be successful. So don't let knowing all of the facts paralyze you and keep you from helping other people. Okay? Trap number 3 is I need someone to motivate me. Okay. I'm going to say this with some love, but hopefully keep it, hopefully not offend anyone. You guys, you need someone to motivate you to live your best life. Come on. And maybe that's not for you, but if that is something that you have felt, I don't feel motivated to work towards my goals. I need someone to push me. You guys, we have got to find our purpose and our why then. This is your life. This isn't just like a rehearsal dinner. This is your life. And if you want something bigger, you have to tap into that, because it's not up to anyone else, and no one else can push you to live your best life but you, because you're the only one that knows what really triggers you, what's going to push you forward, and what's going to hold you back. So being your own boss and being a coach is going to take us getting very honest with ourselves, okay? To know where our weaknesses are and where we can grow, and to embrace our strengths and know that those are where we need to maybe focus more of our energy, because that's what's going to keep us inspired and moving along. Okay? So it is our job as coaches to motivate others. We have to want to change more than we want to stay the same. Okay? And that's going to look very different for every single one of us, right? We all have different goals. But in order to be motivated, you have to find the things that you want more than you want being comfortable and where you are right now. That's what's going to motivate you. That is what is going to push you to that next level. Okay? So then trap number 4, and this will probably relate to you, Michelle, and hopefully to Megan and Melissa as well, is we get so focused on the income, the fear, the rejection, the failure, the to-do list, because it's adding something new to our plate, that we forget about the impact that we can make on those around us, on our family and our friends and people that we haven't even met yet. We forget all of those things because we're focusing on one, right? We're focusing on, well, if I go and invite her, she's going to say no, or she's going to think that I'm trying to sell her, or they're just going to think that I want to push product on them, or whatever that is. Michelle was honest and shared that she's afraid of the rejection. So we get so focused on that sometimes that we forget about the power that inviting someone to a challenge group or to join our community really has. You guys, sending an invite to someone is far more than sharing about a challenge group or sharing about the coaching opportunity. The first thing that an invite does to somebody is it plants a seed of belief in them. Wow, Michelle believes that I can do that. She thinks that I can do what she does. Okay, so we have to remember, we can't make it about us. And that's what happens so often, because we get afraid of the rejection. We start doubting ourselves, and all of those thoughts start flooding our minds. And so we kind of revert back to us to protect ourselves, right? And we kind of put that wall up, and then we stop instead of taking that leap of faith. We have to make it about serving those around us and making it about our friends and our family, and knowing that as long as you stay around and coach them, we've talked about this a million times, as long as you stay around and coach them, and you are the friend and you are the family member, and you strive to help them do better, you are not just selling them product. Someone who just pushes product and sells, makes the sale, and never makes contact with that person again, or maybe does once or twice and then that's it. As long as you keep showing up to be that friend, to help them reach the goals that you talked about. You can't do it for them, right? I can't do it for you. You can't do it for them. But you can help them build belief. You can point them in the direction of the resources and tools for their workouts, for their nutrition, for personal development, all of those things, building belief within themselves. Okay? So just remember that we have to think about the impact that we stand to make by sending that invite, by adding a new friend, by connecting with someone that we haven't spoken to in a long time. Because you may just be what that person needs at that point in time. That message of, I hope you have a really great day. How are you holding up in this situation? We have such a unique opportunity to really connect and help people, not just with the products, but to be a friend. Because so many of us we're all in quarantine and we're all secluded and we all kind of get in our own lives and kind of get in this complacent place. And maybe you're happy and you're doing good, but have you checked on your friends? Like if you send a text message and said, hey, I just want to check in on you. I want to know how you're doing. Are you holding up okay? Those little things mean so much and go such a long way to those around you. We have to remember that we're all in this together. And if you are feeling like, I really wish just somebody would check in on me because I'm just kind of feeling down today, go send 5 messages to 5 people and check in on them, because it will come full circle. But we can't expect everybody to just come to us. Does that make sense? Go out and remember that this is about helping others, okay? And before we can do that, we have to make sure that we're focusing on us too, because our journey is always first and foremost, right? So I'm going to go through them again really quick. Trap number 1 was determining your worth by titles. And the flip is, what can I do to make an impact in this season in my life? Right now, what can we do as a coach right where we are today? And focusing on serving others, inspiration, positivity, growth, all of those things are huge right now. Providing value and just being that light, okay? Because there's so much fear and anxiety going on right now that we just really need to be centered ourselves and help others to do the same. When we are calm and at peace, those who are following us and those who are in our lives are going to emulate that, okay? Because they're going to feed off of our energy. But if we're very doubtful and scared and fearful and let that anxiety take over, whether or not you think it, everyone else is feeding off of that too, okay? Trap number 2 is I can't be successful without having all the answers. Everything is figure outable. We talked about the book from Marie Forleo, and just remembering that a marriage doesn't come with a manual, and having kids doesn't come with a manual. But as women and as moms, we figure it out. We learn what works and we learn what doesn't. We take note what doesn't. It's the same thing. Coaching is the same thing. With your post, when you're sharing your story, take note of what works and take note of when things maybe don't get as much attraction. And sometimes it's algorithms and social media, and sometimes maybe you had a kind of a wall up, or you didn't share as openly as you have with other posts that have been super successful. There's always something to learn in every situation. So just be mindful of what's working on your social media, what's working when you're talking to people. And if something didn't work or somebody seemed offended or whatever, take note of it and learn from it and go on, okay? Just because something didn't work doesn't mean that you aren't going to be successful. It just means you had a misstep and you got to learn, okay? Trap number 3 is I need someone to motivate me. So we talked about that, really tapping into what you desire. Is it greater than where you are right now? And if you are happy with where you are right now, that is amazing. But because you are all here on this call, and because you are all coaches and said yes to this opportunity, you desire more. And that's a blessing. You have that desire in your heart because he put that there for a reason. It's not greedy. It's not selfish. You have a mission and a purpose while you're here. And that desire in your heart to be the light to others, to inspire others, to help, to spread that light is there for a reason. Okay, so tap into that. And then trap number 4 is we get so focused on the income, the fear, the rejection, failure, knowing all the things, the to-do list, that we forget about the impact that we can make. So just remember to something you can ask yourself every day before you go to bed, or maybe when you wake up in the morning to set the tone for the day, is how can I make a difference today? What is something I can share? Just one thing. What is one thing I can do today to make a difference? Okay. So Michelle, does that kind of, with rejection being your biggest fear, like, does that help just focusing more on the opportunity, like thinking about the person on the other side of the screen or the person that you're inviting? Could they really use this opportunity? Like, you know those people for the most part, and sometimes you don't, but I don't know I haven't met anyone in my life yet that doesn't need a positive, uplifting community, that couldn't stand to move and make some time for themselves and for their health, that couldn't have a little bit more focus in nutrition and maybe some guidance on what not to eat and what is going to help them have health and happiness and longevity, who couldn't benefit from a positive community who's going to love and support them and with no judgment and be there every single day to help them get through whatever they're going through in life. Like, have you ever met somebody that couldn't benefit from one, if not all of those things? Like, it really is a blessing. And so many people are so used to being sold to, and there are so many MLMs out there now that send those cold messages, and people may put up a wall at first, right? That's why they say no, or they ghost you, or they don't respond, or whatever. It's not about you, but how you prove to that person that you are genuine is you keep showing up. You keep checking in with them. You keep sharing on social media. You keep trying to connect, and you engage on their posts, and you be a human being who's trying to be a friend rather than just sending a cold message and be like, oh, well, she ghosted me, so I'm never going to message her again. That's just proving that you are just trying to make a sale, right? So do the follow-up, build that relationship, build that trust, and know that you have the opportunity and the gift to dramatically change that person's life on the other side of the screen. Okay? Yeah, cool. That's all I have for tonight. Do you girls have any questions that you would like to, or anything that stood out to you that you would like to speak on? You can unmute yourself and share if you have anything. No? Everybody's good? All right, cool. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I appreciate every single one of you being on the call. For those of you who are listening to the playback, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments below, and I will be more than happy to answer those. Have an awesome start to your week tomorrow. It is Monday, so we have a fresh start. 10 rounds launches tomorrow for customers. Super, super excited about that. So make sure you're talking to friends about that. And have a great week.